Good evening, people. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the Football Takeover for our reaction to obviously yesterday's game, which was Arsenal 1, Newcastle 0, and a much needed win, much needed, maybe not performance, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But we're back on the top of the table for the time being, at least. I'm joined today by obviously Geeks, Coach Ali, and potentially Anthony. But we'll see if he jumps on backstage in a couple of minutes. So first of all, obviously, it's a little bit different with the instant reaction because obviously with instant reactions, I tend to just go boom straight in and
Yep.
just let people vent, let people just get whatever they feel off their chest. So it's going to be more of an orderly affair today because obviously some time has passed between yesterday's game. I'm feeling a little bit worse for wears because I've had a 40th birthday, a 50th birthday back to back Friday and Saturday. So apologies for sounding a little bit ropey this afternoon, but I'm on the water, trying to keep myself hydrated, ready for work tomorrow. I'll bring Anthony in as well. How you doing, bro, Anthony?
I'm good, man.
Good,
Good.
good, good.
Just a bit
Excellent.
tired, bro. Just actually woke up, I ain't gonna lie.
Standard, bro. I've been saying to the gents, like I've had a real lazy day. And like I say, I had a big cousin's 40th celebration on Friday. And then I had a friend's 50th celebration yesterday. So 2 bottles of wine, maybe half a bottle of rum. So I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable today. But we'll go to you first, Coach Ali. Obviously, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Obviously, we've had 2-3 weeks of decent weather. Work's busy, spending some time with the family, and then obviously keeping in touch with the football.
No problem, Geeks.
Yeah, I mean, started off the day seeing Bath City throw away a 2-0 lead and then fall in 3-2. There was like 1,400 people down at the ground, so that was good fun with the boy in splendid weather. And then taking in the Arsenal game, and it's just like, I'm glad I've digested and we've had this little bit of time before, this one. There's a bit of perspective, but yeah, I'm kind of like, that's where I am. It's a
No
Sunday.
problem. No problem. We'll get into it. Obviously, we've heard from you, Anthony. I hope you're all well apart from having your little Sunday snooze. Yeah, all good.
He's
Excellent.
due another one in about an hour, so we better get on with it. Come on.
As soon as the show finishes, laptop down, phone down.
That's it.
Bedtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously, like I said, obviously these shows I like to mix them up. There's something quite unique and special about instant reactions, in my opinion. They're kind of unfiltered. You kind of just get the rawness of the post-match kind of feelings and thoughts. But I also like it when, we do have a little bit of time to kind of like digest, kind of reevaluate, reflect on a game when it's been like a 24-hour period or so forth. So a little bit of a different show today. But thank you for everybody who's tuning in. I will go through the comments as I hear from the panel. So we'll start in probably the most kind of ideal place, really, was obviously the starting 11. So kickoff was 5:30, so about 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Arteta, and the admin team and all of that released the team news. So we had Ryan goal, we had a back four of White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Hincapié. We had a midfield three of Zubi, Rice, Odegaard, captain in the side, and then a front three of Madueke, Eze, and Havertz. So I'll come to you first, Anthony, solely on the lineup, like obviously an hour before the game. What were your thoughts with the 11 that Arteta went with?
No, it was a good lineup. Obviously, everyone was expecting Timber, thinking Timber would have been back, but unfortunately, he's not. I called it. I said before the game, I said he's either going to go with the same team that played last week against C, because you can see all of them were the performance was good. Even though we lost, it was a better performance than the last couple of games. But I was happy with the lineup. We'll talk about other stuff later regards to certain individuals, but no, I was actually happy with the lineup. Obviously Saka was off the bench and all that, but
yeah, good to see him on the bench.
I'm saying, like, having these guys, having Eze, on the left with Odegaard in the team, that gives us something different, because the two wingers that we got, the less I say about them, the better, in it. So no, I was happy. I was happy. I thought Mosquera would have started this game, but I think the reason why, because Gordon was not there. I think that's the reason why he started Ben White. If Gordon was there, it'd be a problem. But it is what it is. But no, I was happy with the lineup nonetheless.
No problem. Coach, obviously you heard from Anthony. You see the lineup on the screen. Thoughts about it? Would you have done anything different, given obviously, run of poor results, a better performance against City? Do you think Arteta went with the right 11? What would you have changed, if anything?
Yeah, I think it was a good 11. I think maybe if anyone's being a bit picky, maybe Gyökeres up front. But then obviously in the first 35 minutes before Havertz got injured, we were playing a little bit better. He was holding up the ball a little bit better. But again, it's swings and roundabouts, it's opportunities. It all depends on the opposition as well. Will determine, for me personally, who starts up front. So that's how we should go game by game. I don't think we have a designated striker. If Havertz was fit earlier in the season, I think there would have been a lot more rotation between the two forwards, and that would have probably been healthy competition for them both. But unfortunately, I'm sure we'll get into it later. Havertz just can't stay fit this season, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Defensively, we were solid. I thought Ben White. What Ben White are we going to get? And I thought he was solid. I think probably that was one of his better games this season. But then at the same time, Newcastle, especially in the first half, they weren't very confident in their attacks, as other teams have been in the past down that right-hand side of ours.
No, I hear it. I mean, coming to you geeks, looking at the starting 11 and then looking at the options on the bench, would it have been the starting 11 that you would have gone with, obviously at home against Newcastle? Which, I mean, based on form, pretty poor Newcastle side.
Yeah, I hear that, and that was the thing. The problem for being Arsenal, though, is that we always play the best version of teams. They can be absolutely toilet for 3 months. And they've done nothing, and then they play Arsenal and they're completely their best version, and we'll get the best version of them in the season. But not only that, the teams that Newcastle have lost to recently, Newcastle have gone at them and left themselves more exposed, and that's not what teams tend to do against us. I personally, I was worried about White because of not historically the player he is, just how he has been. It's like
facts,
under-rotated and underperforming. And that underperforming, I was worried about Madueke. I'm worried about having to start Rice and Subamendi in every single game, albeit we're up against Guimaraes and Tonali. So, I mean, they are two fantastic players. I get that. But I don't feel like this was the way to go. Like, Havertz going to give... We need goals, right? And the thing about Havertz in the side, he will sacrifice certain things to facilitate play. Gyökeres needs service to get goals. And we haven't been doing the service for goals, which we'll get to, particularly in the second half from a certain player. And so he demands the ball in a certain way because he is only interested in putting the ball in the back of the net. And I love that about him. So if you don't service him the right way, the rest of the team, because they're looking for the safe ball all the time, where Havertz will facilitate that sort of play. And I think that is one of the things, when I see that in the setup, I don't necessarily think we're going to be better. I just feel like we're playing into Arteta's stringent system. And that's why I was like, originally I said, we're going to beat these guys 3-0. And then when I saw the lineup, I was kind of like, no, it's going to be a tight one. So it transpired.
Okay. I mean, when I saw the lineup, for me, seeing White was a little bit of a red flag, if I'm honest. And that's, like you say, that's not really to do with his kind of whole tenure at the club. It's just what he's been playing like, in recent weeks. I think this is a really interesting comment and probably quite close to the truth. Not this one. Where is it? For some reason, my thing is acting up, but it's this one here. No, it's not. I don't know what's happening with my StreamYard, but it's the one where it said Ben White starting versus Newcastle tells me Mosquera is going to start in Madrid.
Yeah, I saw that
Oh, yeah,
comment
quite
earlier.
I saw
possibly,
that
yeah.
one
Yeah.
kind of, for some reason, it's not
Yeah.
bringing up the ones I'm clicking on. I have no idea why. But yeah, that for me.
How drunk are you still?
Yeah,
But I do
I
agree.
literally don't
We sell
understand.
8 of those players.
There we are.
We can
There we
make
are.
that 12.
There we are.
Yeah.
I've literally found it. So this is the one that I think I agree with that. So when I think about when I saw White, it was a little bit of a raised eyebrow, but I think that comment is probably bang on, really. I mean, it probably tells us that Mosquera will start. The rest of the back four and the keeper happy with. I was a little bit not apprehensive, but I was looking to see interested to see what Raya's performance was going to be like, because I'm not going to lie, I've gone through the season of being absolutely confident in his abilities to in
He
recent
has
weeks
wobbles.
kind of questioning some of his performances. So obviously I wasn't expecting him to be dropped or anything like that, but I was just looking to see what kind of game he would have. I'm glad, Zubi, Rice and Odegaard were in the side. I know a lot of people think like Eze in the 10, but I think Eze's doing really well on the left. Kind of puzzles me why we haven't used it more, why he
Right.
was, why he was missing for like 10, 15 games in the season. That kind of posed that question. The kind of Havertz Gyökeres thing, I mean, I said I put a post out. I think it was last week or so, and I said we've got a centre forward we can play with that can't score, and we've got a centre forward we can't play with that can score. It's
That's
it's
so
just
good.
it's
That
just
is such a good comment.
it's just an absolute nightmare, and I'm exhausted with
With
discussing
the whole
it. Like,
debate. Yeah.
with in Discord on the timeline, I literally just don't bother anymore because it's you've got two ends of the spectrum. You've got people who really dislike the player, can't see any good in him whatsoever, and there is no blame to any other aspect or context other than the player's crap. And then you're on the flip side, you've got people who are like myself, who are looking more kind of tactically how we play. We're not playing to his strengths. And at the end of the day, I just think it's a case of you're just gonna have to agree to disagree. There's no real solution to it. We'll be here till Christmas. But by all means, let's do part 2 of that Gyökeres Havertz debate at some point. But yeah, overall, I was really happy with the lineup. It is what it is. We don't have very much control over it. I was just thinking, when I looked here, I thought to myself, well, I think, there's no reason why this team won't play well, because it's more or less the same team, if not whatever, that we played against City. So what we'll do is we'll get on to, obviously, before we get onto player ratings, we'll get onto the actual performance. And this is where I kind of want you guys to just talk me through the game. Like, how do you think we played? Because there's been a massive spotlight on us at the moment in terms of how we're playing. Will we react? We need to improve. We need to score goals. There's so many narratives flying around at the moment. Some are really, really relevant. Some are kind of really kind of left or south. But, haven't had a good run of results, put on a better performance, but still lost the game, pipped at the top of the table. I know psychologically that was huge for a lot of Arsenal fans, particularly me, when Man City played Burnley. So I'll come to you, Anthony. I mean, what did you make of the performance from this Arsenal side against Newcastle? Like, when the final whistle went and we won the game, how were you feeling? Were you happy with the way the team performed?
Disappointed. I'll say that. Disappointed. The first couple of minutes Newcastle could have scored, and again we looked too open at the back. For some reason, we've got arguably the best two defensive pairing, in the world, but yeah, we still look open. Yes, the football in terms of the attacking sense was okay. However, certain individuals, it's part and parcel. And again, it goes back to the recruitment in terms of some of the players that we have brought into the squad. They're not good enough, especially the right side. 65 million on Nani Madueke for what? He can't dribble his way out of paper bag, and I keep saying it. He reminds me of Jovino when he Jovino 2.0, he was just disappointed in a sense that we should have scored more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand why I understand why we reverted back to playing Kai Havertz because of the link, can't bringing people around, but still not good enough. By all expectations. Even when on the pitch, still not good enough by the team. It could have taken one mistake. Newcastle could have been back in the game, even though Newcastle was poor. We should have done better. And then, obviously, when Havertz got injured and we brought on Gyökeres, you could see the drop off. But again, Odegaard guilty of not passing the ball to Gyökeres on that left hand side in the second half, and like, why? Instead of those are the type of runs that Gyökeres likes to make.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, I think what it is, and I think that the team, they don't trust him going forward because you can see the other, when you look at it in terms of his position or the fundamentals, he doesn't have. Like, I'll keep it honest. I was, Gyökeres fan to come in, but at a 27-year-old, not to have the fundamental basics going forward, it speaks volumes, and I think that's why the team don't trust him. You can see the drop off when Havertz came off, when Havertz was injured. You know what I'm saying? But in all, the whole team as a whole, I was just disappointed with the performance. I was just like, where's the chances created? Where's the chances created? Like, Declan Rice just didn't have. He had a okay game, not his best. Zubimendi, a bit better going forward, but again, fantastic from Eze. But other than that, from what I saw from the whole team, I'm just like, it was nervy. It was a nervy game. Yeah, it was a nervy game, and I'm just like, we go. It was just, I don't know. I just don't know what the situation is, whether it's nerves, the pressure in terms of, we got 5 games left or 4 games left in terms of trying to get over the line. And again, this is the team that the manager picks in terms of the players out there doing the job. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I was just left like
feeling deflated.
Yeah, because when Saka came on, you saw the growth class. It's just like, I'm actually watching football. You saw Saka, doing what he does best, compared to when Noni's on the pitch. I'm just like,
there's levels.
Yeah, exactly. The drop off for the front two. You've got, I don't know. I was disappointed. Disappointed. I thought at least get a second goal. Because it was just nervy. I just don't know what the situation is. I was not happy with the performance at all. It's just like, we wanted Odegaard Eze to start, Havertz up top, because what he does in terms of link up play, control. Well, yes, he's not there. He's not clinical in front of goal, but in terms of his other attributes, I'm just thinking, really.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're in a little bit of a. I'll come to you, Coach, next for the performance. I feel like we're in a little bit of a cycle. It's almost like
Groundhog Day.
There is a scenario where we play a game, we feel, so let's just say like a game is played, like say the Newcastle game, fans are feeling quite deflated, quite underwhelmed by the performance. And then there is a period of 24 hours, 48 hours where everybody calms down. Then Arteta and the PR team and the media team and the interviews start flowing. Everyone gets hyped up for the game, and everybody's in this space of, we're expecting this big performance, and then the game is played, and then we get the underwhelming performance again. And then it's happening almost every. I kind of see it's happening every single week. It's like it's literally happening in that order. And I've made peace with the fact that I don't think we're gonna see fluid, liquid football between now and the end of the season. I don't know. I can't even begin to even think about next season. But I've made peace with the fact that if we are going to win this league, we're gonna literally just edge over the line, and we might get it done. If we don't get it done, then we'll have that conversation. But I'm not falling into this trap anymore of where we have this really underwhelming performance, and then there's all this hype, and then the fans expect, and then we get basically more of the same. So before I kind of give my opinion on the performance itself, I mean, how did you feel? You've heard from Anthony.
Yeah.
What was your views on the way we played, like from the first minute to the last against Newcastle?
Yes. I think Anthony makes some valid points there. But as Arsenal fans, the question I want to ask everyone is, what do you expect from this team? Like, why is everyone so surprised? That's why I'm smiling and I'm putting LOLs in the groups and stuff. I'm not trying to wind people up who are putting the comments in. I'm just like, what else do you expect from this side, especially since the cup final? They are. I don't think they're good enough. I think there's a lot of players that are not good enough in this Arsenal squad. There needs about 12 to 15 players that need to leave, but obviously we're not going to have that much of a turnover. But our reality is we could end up seeing 8, 9, 10 players leave. So when Anthony and Geeks and yourself were talking earlier about the squad and the players that are coming in to replace the starting 11, I think we've been, as a whole fan group, well, majority, I would say 99%, 98% would potentially agree and say, oh, on paper, I think we had a very, very good squad. But as the season's gone on, it's just proven to be a paper squad, because the likes of Noni Madueke, I can't even remember the last time he scored or got an assist, or even put in a decent performance, to be quite honest. And Norgard doesn't really get used. So now there was a stat that came out. Elliot Addison's played 34 games. He's ran the most. He's done the most.
Mhm.
So this excuse of they're tired. Yes, I know Nottingham Forest don't play as many games because of the Champions League and stuff.
But they're still in Europe, aren't they? Are they?
They're still in Europe, exactly.
Mhm.
So the minutes played compared to what they run and stuff, our players are 5th, and I think Rice is 7th or 8th on the list out of the top 10. So again, I've been saying this for a while. It's a myth that they're tired. Yes, you are tired to a certain extent because you're a human being.
But they all are at this stage.
As a professional athlete, if you have 2.5, 3 weeks off, you should be fresh as a daisy and ready for the running. Now, the off-field antics, the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, that is not going away anytime soon, because these are opinions that have been laid into the sand from the staff and the players. So no matter what we say, you're not getting a good performance. You're not getting a good performance between now and the end of the season. I said 1-1, 2-1 at best against Newcastle. We'll be lucky. It'll be a nervy ending. Go watch the stream back with Bobby for the preview for this Newcastle game. Whatever I said played out. It was going to be nervy. It'll be 1-1, 2-1. We might sneak it. My desire is we win 3-4 because obviously we need a goal difference. But our reality is, my heart and head was saying it's going to be a scrappy, nervy, one goal win, 1-0, 2-1. And it was 1-0. So there is no surprise for me. And I'm sure you guys can as well, because you've been watching Arsenal for decades, all of you. I know within the first 3 to 5 minutes if Arsenal are going to play well or not. And I generally don't think that they really care, these players, as much as we think they do. They're happy to get their paycheck. They're paid handsomely. They're in a title race. They're in the conversation. But please prove me wrong. I mean, there's football. If our channel was out there and bigger at this present moment in time, like other fan channels are, I'm sure we'll be getting more of a reaction from the players as well. But the reality is, I just don't think they're up for they're not good enough for a title race. I think every season they melt at the end. There's only so much that the manager is at fault as well. I've always said that. But yeah, I just feel like these guys are not cut out for it. And even if they win it, I'll still say the same thing, because the way we are limping over the line through these results, listen, winning the trophy, that's all that matters. But the reality is, I'm thinking next season, the season after, are we going to go through the same thing if we lose a couple of games and someone extravagant comes in? Anthony hit the nail on the head actually earlier. He said something about in the first couple of minutes, they were at our goal. Bruno Guimaraes. If he had that on target, it was going top left corner.
It was also the
there was
winger.
Tonali, not Tonali,
No.
somebody else, someone who went through on goal, the striker.
Yeah, and
Osulu.
Osulu, or whatever his name is.
On the left-hand side of our penalty box.
Yeah, it was more or less clear through. And
had the
ball not bobbled, that would have been at least a shot on target.
Precisely.
And that was within the first couple of minutes, yeah.
Indeed. So it's like all these things are happening, but we're still expecting something totally different. We're well out of form.
Yeah,
all our best players are injured or coming back from injury.
Or getting injured again.
Mikel Arteta said something very, very interesting yesterday. He wasn't making excuses. He was just talking after the game, post-match interview with Sky Sports, right? And I couldn't believe what he said. And what he said was, Saka and Havertz haven't played together all season in the league.
Madness.
Or any game, I think. I don't know. From the start, at least. Yeah? Then I'm thinking, okay, let me just analyze this a bit further. As a question for geeks, I'm sure he'll know, I hope he does. When was the last time Eze, Havertz, Saka and Odegaard played in the Premier League this season? These are not excuses. This is our reality as well.
It's definitely not
this season. We try to get a bit of form and rhythm.
Pre-season, Old Trafford, I don't know.
Yeah.
Old Trafford, no, because Havertz came on off the bench, and then I think Saka may have got subbed. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we haven't really had from an attacking point of view, our best players available for more than 5 games.
I think it's December. Actually, I think they were saying about it's from December.
Havertz and Saka, Anthony, haven't played together all season. That's what Arteta said.
Havertz got injured last January, and Saka came back from a long-term injury.
That's right.
So that's the back end of last season ruled out.
Surgery. Yeah, that's right. And they overlapped and they missed each other.
Yeah.
And then when Havertz was having his form, that's when, remember, Saka had that run of, I don't know, 300 games.
So then you're going back to the beginning of last season, maybe.
So this is the thing. So
I think you're looking at beginning of last season.
Yeah,
you're looking around that time, and that's crazy, really. When you
because Saka got injured early in the season, didn't he? Do you remember? He got he had a good start because he got all those assists.
Yeah,
and then he just wasn't right from afterwards.
Correct. And then it comes down to partnerships, playing together, knowing your spaces. So that's why we're going back to tight. We are going back to what worked in 23, which was Havertz up front, Odegaard, and then now Saka's back. And then that should work. But then guess what happens in the 34th minute? Havertz goes off. So availability is the best ability, and he's not giving us that. So he's again in the shop window to go. Because he's always injured, unfortunately.
If we were to relate that to the back four, let's just say, for example, we weren't talking Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, Eze, whatever, and we wouldn't
be in a title race.
Yeah, we were talking Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, California, right? I mean, if our defense had anywhere close to the issues we've had in our offensive side of things with regards to injuries, we wouldn't even be in a title race.
This is my point. So it's
definitely an accumulation of obviously,
of course it is, and
facts,
like Anthony said,
tactics.
And you guys are saying this is what I said a few streams ago. Everyone's to blame, but it's up to you how much percentage you give everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's the mentality of the players, what they've done in the last since the Southampton game and going and whatever. That's a negative straight away. Then you got the manager who's making in-game management mistakes every other game. You know what I mean? So he's great lineup against City. Subs were awful. The order he put them in was terrible.
They were,
because then that rubs off on the players on the pitch. Oh, we're going to defend this now. Now we're in a position. Even Trossard and Martinelli, they've had their injuries as well.
Yeah,
so it's like what is going on here? Why are they not staying fit now? So because we're getting more muscular injuries now rather than joint injuries. So it's a bit like.
Did you see them after? Sorry to cut you there. Did you? I put a post in the Discord. You see how all of them looked after the game. I don't know what the hell's going on with this team, but I think Bobby said it on his stream that it's either the training sessions too intense because all of them look fatigued after the game.
Yeah.
Odegaard, yeah. I
Yeah,
posted it
they
in
were.
yeah, I
Yeah,
posted
they
on
it
were
their
in
on their
knees.
Discord and I
haunches,
said,
they were on the floor. But
yeah,
I
I
feel,
posted
you
it
know
in the
what it
what's
is,
it
Anthony?
called?
You're not wrong in what you're saying. Bobby's not wrong in what he's saying. But that type of training that we are speaking on and discussing
Mm.
right now, that happens in pre-season, not during the season, not during the season. And because we've gone deep in so many tournaments, they've got hardly any time to do these intense training sessions that everyone's talking about. It's impossible.
Yeah, but I'm
It's
just worried.
impossible. And we can ask that. I think it's a good question to ask Bobby next time you're on with
Yeah.
him to see if these intense sessions are still going on through these periods. Because if they are, then the medicals, then everyone needs sacking and we
Yeah,
start again because that's not allowed either.
yeah.
You don't
I'm
see a
gonna.
basketball team going from city to city,
Mm,
state to state. Right,
mm,
lads. As soon as we land in Chicago, we're going to have an intense session. No, you're going to have you're going to have your lunch. You're going to have your
mm,
stretches. You're going to have do a bit of band work. Go back to the hotel, sleep, go for a walk in the morning, like you see the Arsenal boys do, and then you're into the next game, talking tactics
mm.
on the bus on the way to the next city or the whatever we do, right? Hotel, whatever we do. So I don't believe that either. I just feel like these players are mentally
I was gonna say that.
so
I was
they
gonna
can't
say that.
handle the badge.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
can't handle Arsenal Football Club's badge, the shirt.
if your mind, like you'll be amazed. It's like, I mean, Anthony, you know this, coach, you know this. Obviously, I'm not saying you won't, gigs, but I know coach obviously trains boxers. I know Anthony goes to the gym quite regularly, and I know, like, from doing it really consistently since January, that my mindset going into the gym makes all the difference when I'm in the gym. It
Absolutely.
Yep.
literally makes all the difference. Like, if, and don't get me wrong, it's like one of those things where sometimes I can leave work and I can be so up for it and I'll have the most phenomenal like workout session, and there are other times when I'm really like, I'm kind of just
Flat.
tired, I'm kind of flat, and it takes me a long time to get into it, into the session, or sometimes I don't actually really ever really get into the session or enjoy the session, but then
Yeah.
I take away from the fact, and I said, well, you know what, I showed up. So
Yes.
I know for a fact
Consistency.
that the mental side of it is huge, because there are some times when I'm literally buzzing and I'm skipping into that gym and I'm
Yep.
smashing, I'm making personal bests on all my lifts, all what I'm doing. And there are other times when, for whatever reason, my mind is elsewhere. It might be with the family, it might be with work, might be with that, and all of a sudden I'm really struggling. I'm struggling on lifts that I was doing with my eyes closed, like,
That's right.
you know, a session or two before. So I think the mental side of it definitely plays a part in terms of these players. I'm going to come to you, Geeks. You've obviously heard from Anthony, you've heard from Coach. I mean, going back to the actual performance, what did you make of it? How did you feel we played? What was wrong with it? Was anything you enjoyed? What was your kind of post-match feelings at the final whistle?
So you guys just touched on something that I was going to talk about, which was the emotional and the mental
It's
going
draining.
go into just the strain and the stress, not putting games to bed. If you get a cold when you're very stressed, it feels like the flu. If you have the cold when you're fit and healthy and a bit more positive, it doesn't. And so it's like the marathon. London Marathon went on, and if you've got two runners, 23 mile marker, 24-mile marker,
Yep.
and they're closing in, everybody's dealing with lactic acid.
Yep.
Everybody's dealing with fatigue. Everybody's dealing with tiredness. Everybody, the entire field, just like all the other 19 teams in the Premier League, they're all
Correct.
dealing with it. Who wins? The one that can zone their head out and deal with it the best.
Bang
right?
on.
Facts.
Yeah.
And we are in
Yeah.
the 33rd mile marker of 38. And everybody's bloody tired, but they're like, oh, I'm tired, you know, and it's detracting from their performance. But then these are the things that I'm concerned about with Arteta. He's making the mistakes off the pitch, because how do you break the monotony? How do you turn that mentality? And that's what it is to be a coach and a manager. You've got to switch people on. You've got to make them feel like they're walking on there. You've got to make them feel like they're ready, that they're going to be dangerous. And it's almost like they're just going into every game and gassing. And so we're not getting performances. And what coach said about why is everybody expecting anything different? I've said stuff similar. But to be truthful, we know that this squad can do different. We know they can bang goals in.
I
We know
agree
that
with you.
we know this personnel
And I'll
can
tell
play
you why once you
expansive
finish.
football. But we know that we can play expansive football. We know we can take it to them. And my biggest issue with this right now, when we what is our greatest aspect of this season so far?
Set pieces.
Defense, right? The
Defense.
defense set pieces. Yeah. Set pieces. But the defense. And what is the defense now? The defense is a bit of a liability. I'm going to keep it real. We kept a
It
clean
is.
sheet, but the way that we're playing out, and we create the most dangerous issues for ourselves.
Yeah.
And that keeps me on edge. And I feel if the defense is mean again and nasty and celebrating those challenges and keeping that clean sheet, and the midfielders screening better and they're denying those chances, it feeds and it builds because everyone's got a little bit more confidence, you know. But
Yeah.
I think what Anthony said, that was one of the cardinal sins in the game yesterday, that Odegaard failed to give that ball to Gyökeres in his favoured channel, guys. In his favoured channel. If you're looking to slot Gyökeres in any area of the pitch, he's in the left-hand channel, moving towards goal with a defender off to his right.
It's baffling.
What was he coloured invisible? Did you not see him in the red shirt? How did you do that? That's our creative player.
He doesn't trust.
This is why I wouldn't mind Saka becoming a 10, because I think he plays that ball.
Well,
Saka's a two-touch player. He'll just touch it and he'll straight away it's off.
Yeah, but even Saka's done it as well. There's like, if you look at the start of the season, sorry to cut you guys. If you look at the start of the season, Saka wasn't passing to Gyökeres, nor was Odegaard.
Yeah, and you're spot on there.
There was an online debate in terms of, you know, what the situation is. But we said because the way that Saka's an inside forward, so Saka's naturally going to get the ball, does what he does best, like he did yesterday, cut inside, and he would try to create the situation for himself.
Room for the shot,
yeah. What we have now in terms of our striker, unfortunately, and this is where I've had arguments with people on X. I said, look, we all knew that signing Victor Gyökeres was a gamble, because one, he's not going to do what he did in Portugal.
You automatically cut that in half, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. With that, and then the fundamentals that a striker should have. Technically, he ain't good. Let's keep it about that pass that he should have done yesterday. I was just like, really? You should have just, either chipped it over, because Saka and Martinelli were running in. We could have been 2-0 up. Even Calafiore, when I saw the picture of Calafiore said, he's just like, turned his head, it's just like, Jesus. The fundamentals he doesn't have as a striker going forward. So I think what's happened now, going back to how it was at the beginning, they don't trust him because he won't make the right decisions going forward. His movement inside the box as well. Again, as a striker who, if he's going to bang, he'll bang. We all know that. That's one of his main attributes, that you give him the ball 9 times out of 10, he'll put it in the back of the net. But everything before that, they won't trust him to do that. And
I think he's trying to hang back.
I don't know about that.
He's no, I don't, because he's trying to anticipate where the ball's coming from rather than knowing where the ball's going to come from. If you look back at our best teams, they just make their runs knowing the ball's coming. Gyökeres doesn't know if Madueke's going to run it off to, for a goal
off the pitch.
Yeah, or if he's going to cut back, go take it to the touch. He's got no idea where that ball's coming from. So he's hanging back at the 18-yard box rather than playing for a post.
100%. And this is what we're saying. It's about relationships. It's about relationships.
So what has Arteta done to culture chemistry?
Those relationships, they're all injured. They're always injured.
Yeah,
that's our reality. I know that sounds crazy. From a fan's point of view, you're like, oh, Ali, what are you talking about?
No,
but the reality is, Odegaard hasn't played 5 Premier League games in a row this season. Havertz hasn't played 5 Premier League games in a row this season.
Yep.
And Eze, he's misused. Madueke is not good enough. That was a Arteta, more of an Arteta sign than a Berta one. Berta wanted Gyökeres, got Gyökeres. And for me, I think he makes very good runs. Can he improve his hold-up play? Of course he can. Can he improve on certain... So, for example, yesterday, I think he could have released that ball with his left foot maybe 1 yard earlier, and the Newcastle player wouldn't have blocked it. because then it's Saka and I think it was Martinelli. They were just running. That one of them would have ran onto it. So it's just those fine margins, those decisions.
Well, it's the
type of
basics,
decisions.
but Ali, the
So
basics.
it's very. This is why I keep saying it's everyone's to blame, but you guys can pick for yourselves how much you want to blame Arteta. How much is it down to the injuries? How much is it down to the
because
squad building? How much is it down to the performance and mentality of these players? Someone
you
just
know
put
what
in the comment. We play not to lose, not to, and rather than play to win. Well, of course, I get that.
Yeah.
I do get that. But on the other hand, how many chances, how many nearly opportunities did we have yesterday? How many nearly opportunities did we create against Man City? So we are creating, but we are not taking. We are not finishing our dinner when we get
That was
it.
Havertz on those.
Yeah.
Havertz wasn't finishing his dinner, right?
Yeah.
You know
So-
what is so frustrating though, like for me as an Arsenal fan is Gyökeres did not Gyökeres didn't
He
sell
doesn't
us
miss
a dream.
sitters. No.
Like when he was playing for Sporting, you could see the player and the profile that Gyökeres was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not as if we didn't know what we were purchasing or we didn't know what we were buying.
No.
You know, and I take this all the way back to like when I played grassroots football, Saturday and Sunday league football. And I know it's not at the same level, but it's not rocket science. Like we had two centre forwards. We had a Jamaican youth called Keno, and we had a white youth called Bob. Yeah. And they played so differently. Keno, shiny red boots, step overs, trickery, link up play, you name it, he could do it. Okay. Bob was just a unit. So when Bob was on the pitch, we lobbed it high and long. We got down the wing. We didn't even look. We crossed it in the box.
Whip it in.
When Keno was on the pitch, everything was to feet. I just don't understand it. It's like we know what Gyökeres is. We know what Havertz is. A team of Arsenal's eliteness, ability, with the world-class coaches and manager, whatever you want to, that our whole setup, we should be able to adapt to two different profiles of centre forward. Because when you look in a squad, you don't have, like, it's like people are just losing their minds. You don't have like for like player in every single position.
That's just a fact.
The whole point of a squad is you have alternatives. And you can't tell me if we can't drop Havertz, if we can't chase a game and need an alternative, need a plan
adapt,
B.
change, exactly.
Adapt. If we can't adapt the way we play to two different types of centre forwards, then we have massive issues. Forget Gyökeres, forget Havertz, forget the players, period.
Yep.
Like, if we can't change the way we play as a football team, based on the opposition or based on the strengths of our players, then there is a massive issue there. And that for me lies with Arteta and the coaching team.
Because the opposition's
my dad was a Saturday and Sunday league coach level. And we played differently to when Keno was up front to when Bob was up front. And it's not rocket science.
No.
It's literally not rocket science. When Keno was on the pitch, we played possession ball, tiki-taka, link ups, one-to-ones, through balls. He had pace. When Bob was on the pitch, we just threw it up top and we looked for him to win the duel. I mean, it's not rocket science.
No.
It's not.
Like, what we're basically arguing here is what sections of our fan base are saying is that because Gyökeres can't do all of these things, he's crap, and then therefore we should default to Havertz and the way Havertz plays. And it's absolute nonsense. Because there is no way you can have. If you look at most squads in world football, you want to have alternatives. You want to have plan Bs. You want to have two different styles of play. And right now, we have an inability to play to the strengths. Look, if Havertz is our starting centre forward, great. Let Havertz start, link up play. That's how we want to play our football. But look, if we are 1-0 down in the Champions League final against PSG and we're chasing a goal, we need to be able to put a different type of centre forward.
Absolutely.
That's the reality.
And we should be able to create chances for that centre forward,
Yeah.
just like we're able to create chances for Kai Havertz, because that is what an elite football team does. That's what a Saturday and Sunday league football team does. That's
Ready
what
to
they
play.
do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
change your
remember-
style
Yeah.
of play, you change your tactics.
But
Like
gee,
I
remember I said
I
to you,
really don't understand it.
remember what I said to you though. I said to you that
You said he wouldn't,
because
and I can't
yeah,
believe he
exactly.
hasn't.
Because we've played, our formation is suited for Jesus, Marino, and Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Bringing in your bring. I understand why he wanted Sesko, because again, he wants
Exactly.
Yeah,
he
like for
wants
like.
he wants his forward to do the defensive work,
False
to
nine.
link
Yeah.
up, false nine position,
And then get in there somehow.
Yeah.
to get in there somehow. But bringing in Gyökeres, I said that, and I made this point. There's two things that's happened. You brought in a guy who you set up to fail, and
Facts.
we don't. Again,
Facts.
in terms of Gyökeres needs to adapt to how we play, because this manager's stubborn as hell.
The
Let's
thing is,
keep it.
I don't think he
Stubborn as
can,
hell.
Anthony.
Well,
I think he's tried.
At
He
27,
he
I
tries.
I think he's trying.
He's trying, but again, like I said, he's not. It's not going to work, because again,
No.
Gyökeres is an out and out striker. He's a traditional number 9. He's
Yeah.
not like he's
Yep.
not like Marino. He's not like Jesus. You
No.
get where I'm coming from. So
Yeah, for sure.
again, it's a square peg in a round hole. That's how we're
Mhm.
playing with Gyökeres up
Mhm.
front. There are certain games that yes, Gyökeres will either get the 1 or 2 goals, etc., etc. But in terms of when I think James Benz said it best in terms of the XG from when Havertz is on the pitch to when Gyökeres is on the pitch, it's dramatically
Yeah.
Higher. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
he suits our
And-
system. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's
Mhm.
the thing in terms of James Ben. I listened to his podcast the other day, and he was absolutely spot on in terms of what he said. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
we all knew this. The team that we have, the personnel, we don't have the personnel. If you look at City, the reason why Haaland was a different breed, Haaland's a different breed. However,
And he's younger, so he could have adapted his game.
he's younger. He can adapt to the game, but he also had individuals who Odegaard can't even lace up Kevin De Bruyne's boots. Let's keep it above.
Yeah, that
Kevin,
Bernardo Silva.
you know what I'm saying?
Ian
Bernardo Silva.
Turkey now.
You know what I'm saying? You've got all those guys there going
Foden.
forward. Exactly. Even when you had was it
David
who else was there before they left? Was Morris there before? Was
Mahrez.
Yeah. So you had those different type of personnels. With us now, we continue the way that we're playing. And if you look at the City game, we reverted back to a 4-3-3.
We did.
We reverted back to the 4-3-3 against City. Why we're so fluid? Because Havertz up front. Because everything connects around Havertz going forward. When it's Gyökeres, it ain't working. But with Havertz up front, it works, because we've been playing with him for the past 2 seasons. Everyone knows how each other's play going forward. So there's an element of what are we going to do next season? Because people are saying get rid of Gyökeres. Literally, people are saying get rid of Gyökeres because he ain't doing the business. And I'm just like, we have an issue. Fundamentally, we have an issue with what is
For
going on in
me,
terms of the manager going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
We need a new
can't-
voice. New voice.
Exactly. If we can't cater for 2 different strikers, because if you look at Emery got the best out of. It's ironic that Emery, as much as people love him or hate him, he got the best out of Aubameyang and Lacazette together on the pitch. Arteta's come in. Arteta's just, pardon my language, he just fucked the whole team going forward in terms of Aubameyang and Lacazette.
Mhm.
Get where I'm coming from. But Emery got the best out of both of them. Play
Yeah,
Aubameyang,
they were
play
phenomenal. Yeah, they
and
were.
exactly. Play Lacazette up front.
but again, there was that chemistry, there was that connection.
Yeah.
They got on with each other off the
Yeah.
pitch. They knew each other's runs.
Yeah.
Bobby said it before the season started. Bobby said it in the transfer window season. He's been saying it since all the way through the season, and I'm sure without even him being here, he'll back it and say it again. The whole idea of this Gyökeres signing was to play him and Havertz together. They have not had that opportunity again
How
to
though?
play 5,
No.
6, 7, 8 games together because Havertz is just always injured. So then,
No,
where
but
are we
I don't
fitting
even
these
see
players?
this team in any sort of system, Ali, that would facilitate that.
This is the
We
thing, because
tried it.
that's
We
what
tried it twice.
pre-season was
Remember?
about. we're going off Bobby's information. He knows he's on the phone to these people all the time. That's his job. This is what we've been told. Kai Havertz was supposed to play in a 2 with Gyökeres. It hasn't happened because of that same old boring excuse that we have of injuries. So we need to look at our medical staff. We need to look at the manager, immensely look at the manager. He's under a microscope, win, lose, or draw. For me, even if he wins, I'll keep saying this, he still needs to go, and we need a new voice like you boys are saying. But I will also caveat what you guys have said by saying this. When your striker is open and you don't pass to him, that's strange. That was Saka at the beginning of the season. Yesterday, another example.
Facts.
He's made a lovely run.
Facts.
We can't even judge him if he misses. He's not even getting the chance to miss.
You know what? You hit the nail on the head.
That's what makes me annoyed.
Because
and
it doesn't matter what issues we're having with a new signing, with a player that has some clear inabilities in terms of like passing, technical ability,
but his
etc.
strengths are so strong.
End of the day, though, at the end of the day, you're an attack. You're a midfield. I don't care. You know what? Forget you're an attacking midfielder. You're a footballer. Yeah, you could be a goalkeeper. You are running with the ball at your feet. You are not blind, and you see your centre forward making a run, and all you've got to do is play the ball, and he's through, and you don't play the ball. Something wrong with you. There's either something wrong with you, or there's something wrong with the instructions you've been given.
For me, it's got to be. There's got to be something wrong with you as an individual, because 100%. When you're on that pitch, and if I'm seeing Anthony up front,
playing that pass was inexcusable.
Oh yeah, we all play football, right?
Yeah, it was inexcusable.
We're not missing that.
The ball was at his feet, and I was like, pass it.
Do you think Arteta?
Everyone at the TV.
Boys, do you really think Arteta as a manager is going to get pissed off in the dressing room if Odegaard makes that pass forward and Gyökeres scores? And even if he missed, he's not going to say no to that. So there's this myth of, this is Arteta's fault because he wants them to keep passing sideways.
Yeah, and this is what annoys
me.
This is why the narrative annoys me about like Gyökeres not being good enough, because this is why it annoys me, because I understand that Gyökeres is not a good passer of the ball. I understand he's not good at winning aerial duels. I understand he's not good at holding the ball up. But what annoys me is that like you're literally not putting him in a position. He's making the runs. All you've got to do is play him in,
and let him make it. Let him mess it up.
What happens from there?
Let him mess up, because I know he's not gonna.
This is not a player who, like, we're fans. We're watching football. We've watched football our entire life. We're not watching this game thinking to ourselves, okay, he's not even making the runs. He's not making the effort.
Bro,
he's not putting himself in positions. But he is. But then the players behind him, technically, gifted players that do it. Odegaard does it for bloody Sweet. He does it for bloody Norway. Like, do you know what I mean? So what I don't understand,
he's playing that ball to Haaland.
Us sitting here saying, like Gyökeres, this and this is not good enough. I have no qualms about the inabilities of his game. I'm not under any illusion that he's a technically gifted player, that he's a great passer of the ball. He's there to score goals. So when your centre forward makes a run, you play the pass.
It's simple.
It's not rocket science. He makes a run, you play the pass.
Out-training this out of the players. I don't believe that, because in 2023 we were playing free-flowing football, so we can't go from that to being extremely defensive and then these guys not having any common sense, because this is now becomes what use your head as an athlete individually. Common sense. Get the ball into the box.
What I don't understand is I hope that behind the scenes, at the end of the game, Gyökeres is saying, bruv, why the fuck did you not pass?
You know what?
I'm hoping if Odegaard has anything about him, saying, brother, if I pass it to you, I thought you was gonna bloody lose it. Like, they need to be having these conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But this is the thing.
Gyökeres, I'm saying, listen, you're wasting your time playing it to my feet, innit? Like, you're wasting your time. You see when I peel off and I make a run, pass me the freaking ball.
Put it in front of
me. This is the thing.
Having these conversations, man.
If I'm a creative player in midfield, right? When I used to play football, I was a 10. I used to play on the left wing, right wing, yeah? I'm just passing the ball forward. I'm not interested in going this way, that way, especially when my strikers made the run.
Yeah.
Just play him in. So
Yeah.
there's
Play him in.
Odegaard should not even be saying after the whistle, "Oh yeah, but you're gonna not hold it up." Just keep
Doesn't
giving him the
matter.
ball.
Do
Keep
your
giving
job.
it. Keep
Play
giving it.
the
Keep
ball,
giving it.
bro.
Didier Drogba in his first season at Chelsea, his hold-up play was horrendous.
Yeah,
And
it
look what he
was.
turned into. And
Yeah.
he came to the Premier League at the same
Yeah, but
age.
he had quality players. The thing is with Drogba though, Chelsea had the quality players, the Essien, the Makalele, all them players there, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We
To make
don't.
the vertical pass.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I
So-
said that
So
we
it's
needed.
Arteta's fault for not playing Eze more with Gyökeres from
Yes.
Eze coming off the left.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, I've
Anthony.
said this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
when Spurs away, that was case in point. Look what happened when those two were tight
Yeah.
and close together.
With Saka,
We
they
saw a
started to
better
form a
Gyökeres.
triangle.
Yeah.
Look, me and Bobby said and agreed. Gyökeres is playing the setup that will suit Havertz and vice versa. It's like telling a boxer who's a natural southpaw to box orthodox.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's just
It's
like
so
I don't
true.
even like honestly. This is
But
why I
guys-
can't. This is why I can't even debate in the Discord on X on anymore because I literally can't because it's like I'm talking to people and like I say, Anthony had it bang on when he said we shouldn't have signed him because not for the reflection of him as a player, but we were never going to adapt to our style of play.
I honestly
But
believe if a new manager comes
in reality, like
Maybe, coach.
we're having a like this whole thing is it's just a stupid conversation now
Yeah.
because
Guys,
if
he's got
anybody has
18
if
goals.
anybody has played football, anybody has played. I've
Exactly.
played football with so many different players that have all different attributes, strengths, weaknesses. I had my flaws. I was a defensive player. I had no technical ability. That's why I started at centre back. When I stopped growing, my dad transitioned me to right back. When it was evident I wasn't going to be the quickest in the world, he transitioned me to DM.
Yeah.
Like, it's not rocket science. Like, you play to a player's attributes. Like, you put them in the positions. Do you know what I mean? Everybody knew with me, my job was to just go in hard in the midfield. Once I got the ball, don't expect me to do nothing
Just
with it.
pass it on.
Just pass it to the player who was forward. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to play to your player's strengths. And at the end of the day, Gyökeres, regardless of what the trolls say, Gyökeres has qualities.
He
and
does.
His qualities is making runs and being found and then put in the positions to finish. If we can't do that, then there is something wrong with the way we are playing.
back.
Because
Exactly.
an elite club does that. An
He's
elite
an
club
elite
and an
finisher.
elite coach, an elite club and an elite coach is able to change and adapt their style based on whether it's Kai on the pitch, whether it's Gyökeres, whether it's Visser, whether it's Duncan bloody Ferguson. Doesn't matter who's on the
That
pitch.
is weird. I was going to give you an example with that
Bruh,
name. That's
a
weird.
top manager
Yeah.
adapts his style based on the players he has.
But what I'm saying,
why
even
create? Sorry, coach. 1 second.
Go on.
Why create a system where you're expecting Thierry Henry and Duncan Ferguson to play the same way in the same position?
Well, it's like
That's
someone said,
stupid.
Kanu Henry.
Yeah, Kanu and
Henry.
Henry,
Kanu. Someone
Yeah.
said that in the chat.
Yeah.
Different flavors. Different
Literally.
flavors.
For
Create
different
different
games.
things, you know?
So on
You
this
know.
is so what I'm another thing on this is like I don't care if the okay. I'm not even bothered about the system changing. Then this is what I'm saying about the players. Like, take your responsibility. Just pass
Yeah,
it forward.
100%. Yeah.
Like, let's
Yeah.
just not complicate this. It's
But James,
too complicated.
nobody's
Yeah.
playing the system well.
3-5-2, 4-4-2,
Yeah.
3
It's not on just
4-2-3-1.
Arteta. It's on the players.
Oh,
as well.
when
It is.
it can't always be Arteta.
Yeah,
When
it
you're on the
Guys.
pitch, just put like if I see an opening on the pitch,
No.
I'm gonna say, boss, the opening was there. You saw that. Go and check the replay. And he'd be like, oh, do you know what? You're right. That's what it's gonna be. Don't shoot from outside the box, but you go and score in the top bins. He's not
Right.
giving two hoots.
But
Arsene
coach,
Wenger,
if the
we went through
previous
that phase,
season,
didn't we?
if the previous system we were scoring goals, and the new system, no forward is doing well in this new system.
They're not.
None
And
of them.
what makes me this is
None
my
of them.
point. No, none of them are doing well because they're not
Well-
fit enough. None
Well,
of,
the
who
only
stayed,
one
who
that's
stayed fit regularly?
putting numbers on the board is the one that everyone's trolling.
And the one that guess what, G?
Exactly.
He's got
The one
18
that's
goals
getting
and he's
trolled,
the one
boys,
who needs to
Anthony.
sell.
Geeks, the one that's getting trolled the most, right? He's got 20 GA in all
Yeah.
competitions, and he's staying. He's out of all the attackers, he stayed fit for the longest
Right.
period.
Yeah.
So
And
you got to take.
Madueke is having a worse debut season than Nicolas Pepe.
He's horrendous.
Yeah, he is.
He's but we knew that before he signed. But again, just a quick one. When it's not 65 mil we've spent on him because it's a 6-year payment plan. So we've probably spent he's on 70 grand, and then we've spent 15 million in the first summer. So that's the business reality. We haven't spent a lot of money on Madueke. Yes, it's 65 million pound, but it's spread over 6-7 installments. So yes, he's not the greatest, but again, quickly on Saka, I know we're going to come onto the lineups. He looked faster yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
So he's been playing with an injury. He's been playing with an injury, and that's why they've been holding him back. Because you know when he sprinted through, I was like, he looked a bit more nimble and a bit more like the Saka of old. Maybe he has been carrying an Achilles injury, and he's because of the other players being injured. Again, his workload at the beginning was too much for a guy coming back from a hamstring surgery. And the workload, I would like to know what ankle that Achilles was sore on. Was it the one that he injured, or was it the other one? Because that was obviously overcompensating when he was injured.
Possibly on his, I think so possibly the right.
We need to really look at our medical staff as well with these muscular injuries, and there's got to be some sort of change there as well in the summer. If Arteta stays, there's got to be some sort of medical change in that field, because too many muscular injuries.
It's Arteta playing injured players, though, not listening to him.
Again, you're spot on, but every manager does it. Odegaard's knee was strapped up yesterday. That means he's not fit. Well, he's not 100% fit. His knee's strapped up. Madueke, when he came back after his knee injury before the international break, his knee was strapped up. So these guys are playing because we don't have anybody else.
Barrier,
that's the problem.
And that's the thing that I always keep saying about this manager. I want this manager gone because how many seasons have we seen that he doesn't trust the full squad, the bench?
Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
That's true. That is true. Fabregas played against Barcelona with a torn hamstring, and then he pulled it when he was hitting a penalty. So we all know these things, and this happens in football every single week, every single season. There's knocks and niggles. Anthony's in the gym all the time. He's in combat as well. He knows all these things as well. We all do know this on the panel. You get niggles. You're never always 100% fit. But
that's the thing, though. Again,
the buck lies with the manager. But these players, the players' mentality and their availability this season has also been terrible.
Yeah, it's been in question, and it has been in question in terms of their mentality has been in question in terms of the way that they played. But again, it goes back to trusting your players. Again,
that's why he doesn't trust them. That's my point.
Yeah, but
because whenever they get a chance, they scuff it. Martinelli, Nottingham Forest away at the City Ground. We win that game 1-0. The guys scuffed it off his toe and it's gone past the post. It was harder to miss than score.
Well, this is the thing, though. It's like, again,
and how many times has that happened this season?
The sentiment with the players in terms of players are not good enough. Get rid of them. Why are you keeping them?
100%.
This is what I'm saying about the manager. Has a lot to answer for, because again, like I was saying on the previous stream that we was on, if you're injured, brother, I'll get rid of you. I'll tear up your contract. If you're not good enough, sorry, but you're not staying at this football club. But again, this manager, he's too sentimental with players.
But then again, Anthony, you're spot on with what you're saying. But my turn that would be he's on 170 grand a week. So who's going to buy him? Because they know everyone knows he's not a £170,000 player, Martinelli.
Well, listen, if
this is the problem.
But if Eddie was smart enough to go tear up Aubameyang's contract, we can do this for these players. I'm sorry, even if we have to pay them off.
Because he was in the last year of his contract, brother. Martinelli was signed on a 5-year deal. That's the problem.
Yeah, but is he in the last year of his contract now?
No, he's got 2-3 years left, bro. This is the problem. That's what we got. So hence why we didn't sign Semenyo, because we couldn't get Martinelli or Jesus off the books.
Well, I blame whoever.
There's the board. That's why I keep saying it's everyone.
Right, what we're gonna do, we're gonna move on to player ratings, but we're gonna, because we've been online already an hour, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna come to you, Anthony. I want you to pick standout performer, so who you was most impressed with and who you were most disappointed with, and why.
Obviously the most standout performer, my guy number 5, Nkapie. Even though there was, even though I had, reservations about him playing left back, because obviously he's never played that for Bayer Leverkusen. He's always been in the back three. For him yesterday's performance was just like standout performance.
Mhm.
You know, and every time he just gets better and better. He grows with confidence each and every game, which is why he snatched. Let's be honest, he snatched Calafiore's chain.
Yeah.
Respectfully, he snatched the chain. So standout performance for him. There's two players that I'm going to say in terms of the attacking lineup. Madueke again. You look good, flair, skill, but you don't have no end product, and
Yep.
you know, and obviously Gyökeres as well. It's just like, again, I'm sorry about that pass, bro. It's just like you couldn't you couldn't
Yeah.
you couldn't even get that on point. Like we had two players, you couldn't even get on
Yeah,
point.
it was a pass that should have been made. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, it's just for me, it's those three players, and you know, those are my reasons. Like we've seen it week out, week in, week out with Madueke. Like, where's your footballing IQ? Apparently, you're supposed to be. You know, I know Bobby said that he was good under 21s, but I can't see it here going forward. Like, he has how many goals has he got this season?
So in the
One
league,
or two in the Premier League.
Two. Yeah,
He got
two.
one
You
at
know,
Leeds, and I
Two
think
in
he
the
got
Prem.
another one.
and he was talked about being this bright star going forward, but bro, it's just like your worst. You know, this is your worst start. When he's at Chelsea, at least he scored a hat trick and a couple of goals. But here, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're not good. You know, if you work on your end product to your final third to, you know, get the ball in the back of the net, then we could say, yeah, but yes, it's
He's
Bert's got.
athletic. He's not
He's
a
he's
he's not a technical footballer, is he?
he's athletic. He's not a technical footballer like Gyökeres. Gyökeres ain't a technical footballer, but yeah, them two.
Okay. No problem, Coach. Player you was most impressed with. Player you were most disappointed with.
I think it's a tough one because Havertz was playing well and then he got injured. Eze, I think, was doing well and then got injured. So I think the two major reasons why our form dipped in the second half, technically going forwards, was because of Eze and Havertz. I think if ever Eze and Havertz stayed fit for 75 minutes, we would have been 3 goals clear. The way the game was going in patches, and I just think, like Anthony said, I think this again. Look at this quickly in Henkapié, his mindset, bros. His mindset, that's elite mindset. That is a man who's a winner and he's look aftering his own performance. He's not worried about what the manager's saying. How many times did he hit the tackle? What did Arteta? Is Arteta going to tell him off for being a bit too strong in a tackle? I don't think so. Is Arteta going to complain when he does a side tackle to intercept the ball and it goes out for a corner or a throw in? I don't think so. So again, it comes down to the mentality of these players. And he understands what it takes to win a league because he's done it for Leverkusen and he was a treble winner there recently. So for me, he is setting the standard as a 23-year-old, right, of how you play in a run-in. And he's a left back. So this is why I keep saying about these players, especially the ones up front. Your mentality is weak. You're scared to make the pass that goes to lead towards chances.
It takes some ownership.
Do you know what I mean? Take ownership. So for me, Henkapié was man of the match. Outstanding performance. I think it was like he won 15 duels or something, ground and in the air in totality. And then we just lost impetus when Havertz and Eze went off. And I think Anthony's right. I like Gyökeres, but it wasn't his best game. And I think Odegaard, Madueke, all these guys, bang average. Saka looked good when he came on. That's what I will say. And I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans will pin our hopes on him midweek and against Fulham, because we need to dent somebody in these next few games to boost up our goal difference.
Fear factor as well.
For example, if we beat Fulham by 3-4 goals, for example, we're +5 on the goal difference and 6 points clear. Then it's over to Man City, and can you handle the pressure?
It's big pressure.
Then we will see.
Yeah,
that's it.
Fair enough. Geeks, player who impressed you the most and player that you was disappointed with.
Yeah, so the boys have mentioned it. Henkapié, he gets the flowers. For me, I felt I'm going to go with Odegaard because I'm looking for more. That pass through should just happen to your forward, as we've discussed. I'm looking for impact. So there's two honourable mentions I'm going to make. Eze, he had impact. He put the ball in the back of the net, right?
It was a moment.
Done, right?
Yeah.
So well done, Eze. You had impact in this game. Another player was Lewis Saka. Looked very bright when he came back on. It showed what we were missing, that touch control, directness, cutting in, all the rest of it. All of a sudden, the defence was doubling up. Pleased to see it. So glad to have you back, Bakayo. Please be at your best. We desperately need you. Nice to see Miles get some minutes in the midfield. Okay, I've got to mention that. So I was, I'm looking for more from my captain. We're going for a title, people. There needs to be impact. I don't disagree with what you've been saying about Madueke. You know, for me, if we can get Saka fully fit, I want to see Saka on the right. I want to see none of this Trossard or Martinelli. I want to see Eze on the left. Springtime Eze on the left, Saka on the right. Pick your forward. If you're going to go with Gyökeres, maybe think about Havertz in that 10. If you're going to go with a Zubi or you play Odegaard in the 10, whichever one you want to do. But these boys out wide terrorizing defenses, because if you've got a prime Eze out on that left and Saka, we've got a three-pronged attack again, boys, and that's what we need going forward.
Facts.
Well said.
For me, Hincapié as well. A full house. He was for me the best player on the pitch. I think he just epitomizes everything good about Arsenal at the moment, and particularly like defensively, mindset. We've said it all. Player I was disappointed with the most was probably Madueke. Closely, you know what? I actually think. And this, this might get me, some kind of like evils or side eyes, but I think we actually look better as a team going forward when Odegaard is in the team. But I just feel as though there are moments where he just massively lets us down. I think in terms of the way we play,
the press,
he always shows for the ball. He doesn't. He always shows for the ball. He always drops deep. He always helps the team. It's just in that final third where I just feel like, when I look at that midfield three of Rice, Zubi, and Odegaard is the one to create the spark. Odegaard is the one to play the pass. Odegaard is the one to have that moment, take the shot. But he just fails to impress me in those moments. So when he does get a shot, he fluffs it. When he is supposed to make the pass, he puts it sideways. I think overall his general play, we play better when he's in the team. But just those decision-making moments just really, really leaves me feeling frustrated. But I've got to say, for me, most impressing Hincapié, most disappointing Madueke. I've really hit a wall with my mindset of optimism, my tolerance and my optimism over the signing of Madueke at the moment. We're going to move very quickly on to obviously the last topic of this evening's show, and I'll come to you, Anthony. So when you're doing your Mikel Arteta review, you're talking about everything. So from the team he put out to the way we played, to his in-game substitutions, to the overall performance. What would you give him a rating out of 10, and why?
I'll give him a. You see, this is a tricky one.
It is.
Either 7. I'll give him 7, 8 out of 10 in terms of the lineup.
Okay.
Because obviously that lineup, obviously if you look at the back of Man City with that lineup that we played,
there you go.
The fluidity, in terms of that team, when we played City. So I'll give him 7 out of 10 with that. Obviously in terms of the tactics, obviously he had to, like for like in terms of, both Eze and Havertz, and they went, bring on Gyökeres, bring on Martinelli, going forward. And then obviously Noni for Saka, and then, Zubameni coming off an MLS coming into the midfield. We should have seen that time ago, but that's not here nor there. So, for me, he gets a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think you raised some good points there about the lineup, about the substitutions. Obviously, not so good in terms of like tactically, we didn't adapt to when we lost certain players and brought some on. But some good points there. Coach, out of 10, and why?
7. I was going to give 7, 8 as well, Anthony. Same as Anthony. 7 out of 10 I'll go for. And I just feel like his hand was a little bit forced yesterday. Obviously, those two injuries. Could he have brought on Trossard instead of Martinelli instead? Because it was early in the game, late in the mid. I don't know. It's so much of a muchness on that side of the pitch. I would have liked to have seen Max Dowman come on, and then maybe play Saka on the left, and then that would have made. I think that would have made us a little bit more potent on both sides. I think he's got to be brave in his selection of Max Dowman now. If we want goals going into the last 20 minutes of a game, I think that's the kid you turn to. Forget Jesus and Trossards and all that stuff. You stick Saka on the left, you put Max on the right, and let's just go for it. Hell for leather, as they say, full gas. Yeah? So you say, he said it a few times, full gas, full gas. It's time for full gas. Yeah?
100%.
So especially away from home to Atletico, I don't mind a draw. Okay? I want full gas. I need full gas next Saturday at 5:30. Yeah. I need you to be more creative. I thought this is what I'm saying. Every time we're looking at a decent performance and everyone's online and on our group, God, it's looking all right. We get injured.
Man. I'm telling you.
An injury comes along out of nowhere. 5 straight. I think Havertz could be out for the season, lads. That's just me personally.
Apparently,
the way he was touching his thigh.
Yeah, but apparently what he was saying, what Arteta is saying is that he may have felt something, but it was they don't feel that it's too serious.
But you see his body language where he was doing that.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but even with
body language was totally different. He's like, I'll be back in a couple of days. I'll be there for Wednesday.
But
for me, out of the two, if I had to pick one player going forwards between now and the end of the season that I need in this team, Eze all day long and twice on Sunday. And I'm so sorry to say that, Kai Havertz. Obviously, you're a human being. You want to be part of this. I'm really sorry, bro, but we could do without you a lot more than Eze.
I think Jesus now needs to
especially with Saka back
going forward.
Especially with Saka.
And I think Jesus needs to, as much as Jesus he's had some poor performances. I think Jesus needs to come into the fray as well going forward. Because...
But Anthony, what do you think about quickly Saka, Gyökeres, and like Geek said, Eze? He gives that technical speed ability behind him, and then those two will find him.
Yeah,
those two will find him. I think.
Yeah. So updates on Saka. Okay.
No, he said it's the update. So read it as Hand of Arsenal update on Havertz. That it's not too serious. He did come out at the end of the game and he looked.
Yeah, but for me personally, I'm playing Saka, Gyökeres, Eze. That's my front three from Atletico Madrid. To Crystal Palace.
I think with the Atletico Madrid game, I think that would suit Gyökeres. Because don't forget they've got a handful of players out. Obviously, Luka Barras is out.
Yeah,
Lookman's out.
Arteta's playing 11 men behind the ball.
Arteta's parking the bus.
He's gonna be in the goal as well, bro. Trust me.
He's parking the double decker twice over.
He's putting Norgard as sweeper.
No gas, no break.
He's gonna reinforce the car with bulletproof glass. This guy's not playing no attacking football in Madrid. Trust me.
He just wants to get. We know what he's like.
He just wants a result to bring back to
smash and grab, man.
Yeah. That's all he wants.
Two-legged tries. But for the Fulham game, if we're looking ahead in the Premier League, for me, all gas, Saka, Gyökeres, Eze, and then you bring on Max Dowman as your first attacking sub, potentially on the right-hand side. Then Saka goes to the left.
Fulham's a
and if that's not working, then you bring on Trossard.
Not so much at home. I just really dislike playing Fulham.
Yeah, they've always been up. Every
time I think of playing Fulham, I always think of a dodgy result or dodgy performance.
And just quickly, lads, the Bournemouth.
Because we need to go to Geeks soon.
Bournemouth, Man City. That's now been. I think that's going to get changed because the FA Cup final is scheduled for one day before.
Tough games, I can't lie.
So we could potentially be
Everton, Brentford, and Bournemouth. They are tough. I think all three are away as well.
2 out of the 3 are away. Brentford at home. Brentford at Etihad. The other 2 are away.
Bournemouth, Everton, and Brentford. Then I wouldn't want those fixtures.
So if we beat
fixtures.
Fulham, 6 points clear. Then they go to Monday Night Football away to Everton. Then they got Brentford at home. then they were supposed to play Bournemouth, but the FA Cup final on Sunday, but the FA Cup finals on a Saturday. So
gonna
they're
be
going to have
interesting.
Crystal Palace, and when God willing we get through the Champions League into the final, they're going to have the same congestion as we are going into the European Cup final.
Yeah.
So then it all depends of what those results are as well.
Yeah.
Just to put that in there. That's
No
perspective.
worries. Geeks, Arteta, out of 10, and the reason why.
6.
Yeah, fair.
The reason why it's a 6 is because it was a 7. We got a 1-0 win. We got a clean sheet. We beat Newcastle, right? It's the performance again. I don't feel like we're evolving or doing anything new. I'm not seeing improvement in people, all of that sort of stuff. It's a continuation of the very essence of what's got us in this mess.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a 6 for me. And then I was just going to say, when you're talking about Madrid, that's possibly our last game outside of London, barring the Champions League final. We're all in London now. So,
correct.
It's being able to sleep in your own bed and travel and all of that sort of stuff and rest well. That hopefully that will spring. So, boys, I'm just looking for people to step up now and earn the medals if we are going to win medals. And so, fingers crossed, right? But 6 from me. I just don't feel progression and an evolution in him. I'm not seeing, even Pep has tinkered and changed his formation and setup within the season, even from Christmas. And we're just not seeing that from Arteta. And
I agree.
It will be his undoing.
You boys are right with the Pep stuff, but look at the way they played against Burnley, the way they played against us, and even against Southampton. Southampton gave them a very, very good game.
Yeah, no, they did.
And they could have won that. So this is what I'm saying. They're evolving, but they're nowhere near what we expect from a City side.
No.
So you boys have said, and rightly so, we have put this on our own selves by performing badly in the last 8 games. Yeah. And let's see, it's a shootout now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm going to be the harshest. I'm going to give him a 5. I was happy with the lineup. Didn't have any qualms with it. I thought his in-game substitutions were forced, but he did what he could. He got the win. But for me, like I said, I've thought about this for so long now, probably too long. And I just don't understand how a manager cannot adapt his footballing style or tactics to the players he has on the pitch. I'm not even talking. I'm not even discussing Havertz versus Gyökeres anymore, because for me it's absolutely pointless.
It's bigger. It's
but
bigger
like
than
I
that.
say, it's so bigger than that. I would expect any coach, any manager, like I said, of a Saturday and Sunday league side to be able to adapt the way the team plays to suit the players. And what I saw when Havertz went off the pitch and when Gyökeres came onto the pitch is we had absolutely no clue how to put an attack together. And for me, it's just crap. So good lineup, good substitutions. But yeah, I don't understand. Like a manager at this level cannot expect to have his chosen players to play every single game between the start and the end of the season. So even if Havertz is your preferred centre forward, Gyökeres is your other centre forward. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you should be able to adapt the way we play with Gyökeres as to how we alternatively would play with Kai Havertz. It's just similarly if one of our centre backs was injured, and then you bring on another centre back who isn't as good a ball playing centre back. Well, then the simple thing is, if the ball, I know we build out from the back, but you don't tell a player that isn't a ball playing centre back to play out from the back. You tell him when you get it to feet, either pass it sideways or just hoof it down the pitch. I mean, it's not, for me. It's honestly not rocket science. So I have to be harsh on him, and I'm gonna be like this from now on. I'll give him his props for lineups.
Winning enough?
I'll give him his props for substitutions.
No,
we're not.
This is my point. So that's on the players, bruv.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what system you play.
We're
not winning enough second balls. We're not winning these basic fundamentals that a footballer, doesn't matter what system you play, you need to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's going long, playing out the back, no one's really showing for the ball. They're getting a bit scared, a bit shy now, timid. these last few games. Pressure's come on a bit more.
Mhm.
They're playing a little bit safer.
Mhm.
Yes, of course, the everything lies on the manager at the end of the day. But again, your Odegaards, your Maduekes, whip the ball in, bro.
Yeah.
Chop it back on your
Yeah.
left, whip it into the box.
Yeah.
Let us
And you know what though? It's so true.
Declan Rice's free kick.
Yeah. When you talk
Whipped
about
it into the box, no one ran onto it.
when you talk about like the onus and the accountability and ownership being on the players, it's so true.
It
But
is
what
true.
really concerns me though is that I know Arteta is not saying to Odegaard in that position, don't play that ball. Or Arteta, I mean, well, if he is, then it's detrimental to the
Then
side.
you're
But
bloody hell.
Yeah, absolutely.
what annoys me is like, and what concerns me though, is that if I would imagine Arteta will be saying, okay, this is how we set up and play when Kai's in the team, and this
Yeah.
is how we set up and play when Gyökeres is in the team.
Yeah.
Because that's what my dad did. When Kino played up top, this is how we played. And then when Bob played up top, this is how we played. And we all knew that. We knew and we practiced both. We practiced both in training. We knew what our plan B. Bob was always our plan B. If we were playing against a certain team, or we were in a certain game situation when we needed a goal and you throwing everything like the kettle sink at the opposition,
Yeah.
Bob would come on. So what's frustrating for me is that Arteta must have two ways of playing, or he doesn't have two ways of playing. But if let's just say theoretically he does have two ways of playing, the fact that one we can see
Sign Bob.
play out, we can see play out on the pitch, but then the other one is not playing out on the pitch. That's a real concern for me.
Yeah.
Because where is that miss? What's not happening? Why is it not translating on the pitch? And I don't know whether that's the players. Maybe the players don't want to play in that system. Maybe the players don't trust that alternative way of playing, or maybe for all I know, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't actually have a different strategy for when Gyökeres is on the pitch. But for me, that's why I have to give him a 5.
And
Jude, can I ask you a quick question?
I would expect Arsenal to play differently when we've got a different profile of centre forward on the pitch.
Just a quick question to you both, or to all of you. We're talking about that adaptation of play, right? So, if we got to the Champions League final, there are two fullbacks that we could come up against, either Hakimi, or Jonathan Davis, both speed machines, right?
Yeah.
So you are playing in midfield, and that's the fullback you're up against, and you've got two wingers on the pitch, right? So that's the sort of speed merchants.
Yeah.
Trossard's on the ball, or Martinelli, right? That you're the ball you're playing. Which one are you playing the ball over the top for a foot race for? Or do you play the ball over the top for a foot race for both of them? What would you do for Trossard or Martinelli against those two speedsters on the left wing?
Well, we know
A
the
foot
answer.
race.
We know the answer.
No.
You're going to go to feet. You're going to go to feet to Trossard and chip it over the top of Martinelli.
Yeah.
Not confusing, right? So if we can do that for our wingers, and we all know that,
though.
And we
why
do
does
that
it not translate to our strikers?
Do we do that now?
Dylan
Do we do that now?
Dylan put in the chat. We played 7 balls in behind Newcastle line when Kai was on
For Havertz.
For Havertz, and then only twice when Gyökeres was on.
This is my point.
Like I said,
and I've been lucky enough to watch Arsenal, Wigan in the FA Cup, by Leverkusen.
No, they don't.
Wigan.
They don't trust Gyökeres. I keep
Wigan FA Cup. By Leverkusen, second leg. I was lucky enough to be there for both games. And they were, funny enough, they were just back-to-back games in that week. Gyökeres, he makes 2 free runs, and then he goes, because they're not crossing the ball first time. Then he makes a second run. Don't cross the ball. Check back, hold it. I'm telling you guys, this is why I keep saying it's on these players as well. Because this manager I'm not saying Arteta in. I'm saying these players
I've got responsibility here.
Using their common sense.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get dropped or sacked or fired if you make a pass forwards and it results into a goal or a goal scoring opportunity by your club. But he wants everyone to play sideways and backwards. Arsene Wenger done that. Like we've seen all types of football. George Graham is more the Arteta way, right? So we've scored 2 less goals than Man City this season. So imagine if we actually found Gyökeres. I think we'd be 5-10 goals ahead.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And he's a
And
sharpshooter.
yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
pace, he's got power, he makes good runs. We
Mhm.
do not find him.
Yeah.
We do not find him. And then he ends up with 0 shots, and everyone goes, oh, shit, he can't do this, he can't do that. One
Mhm.
thing that surprised me at the beginning of the season, and that he's improved on as the season's gone on, is what Anthony said earlier, is his hold-up play. I think he's a
Mhm.
lot better than he was in April, than he was in August. Because it was shocking in August.
He's trimmed
And now
up.
he's solid now. He's okay.
And he's trimmed, and if you notice as well, he's trimmed down to
leaned. Yeah. So this guy is primed for next season. But as Bobby said, if we win a trophy, Arteta is going to be forced to change his system, which then in turn should get better results out of Gyökeres. But for me, if I'm Madueke, I don't want the responsibility. Just give me the ball. I'm going to whip it to Gyökeres. I don't want it. Give it to him. Let him get the slack.
Why am
I shooting for?
Get assists.
Why am I shooting? I'm not good at shooting. I'm good at just running at someone and just drill it across. Don't look who's in the box. Just throw it across the goal, bro.
Yeah.
Just good at running.
Not hard. Trossard, top back, top back.
Peas and carrots.
Literally, that's where we're at. And that is the simple way of analysing where we're at in our attack. Look, get the ball, pass it forward. He's making the run. I've seen him do it 4 or 5 times in the game, and he doesn't get the ball. It always ends up going to somebody else.
It's frustrating, man. It is. And that's why I'm just done with it. Like, I'm literally not. Like, we'll discuss it obviously on the streams, but that's why I'm done with the conversation, Discord, on the X time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even I see all the debates and I don't even comment anymore, because for me, I've got my stance in terms of, like, I know football at a basic level, and I've experienced enough grassroots football to know that a grassroots football coach changes the way they play based on the players, in their squad. And it's as simple as that for me. We've been online now for obviously an hour and 31 minutes. So we're going to kind of draw a close to the show. We will be back. First of all, obviously, just like to thank Anthony, as always. Pleasure, bro, having you on the stream. Geeks, obviously, pleasure having you also. And obviously, Coach Ali, always here doing your thing. Thank you for everybody in the comments. Almost 100 people watching. Please, for whatever reason, if you haven't liked the stream, or head over to our YouTube and subscribe. We have now surpassed 400 subscribers, which is amazing. So thank you so much. The next target is now 500. So please help us towards that mini milestone. We will be back on Tuesday at 6:45 p.m. for a Bobby preview of the Madrid Champions League semi-final. And then I will be back. I'm not going to have any time to do it on Thursday, so I will be back on the Wednesday evening for an instant match reaction. I know it's going to be late. I'm going to be at work. Obviously, the next day, school's reopened, but I will aim to do like a 9:45 till like maybe a 10:30 type stream, so like 45 minutes straight after the game. So yeah, so join us on Tuesday night for a preview with Bobby. Join us for instant match reaction on Wednesday evening. But until then, I'm going to say our goodbyes. I just need to find my mouse. But yeah, we'll see you all soon. Take care.
Boys. Have a good evening.
Guys. See you later.
Stay happy and healthy.
Bye.